Hi everybody, welcome back to Finding Stardust. If you're watching this video, then you're probably really fed up with lockdown fatigue. You may have been feeling more tired and drained than usual, lacking in focus and motivation, and perhaps you've been feeling more emotional, more sensitive, and more anxious than usual. If that's the case, then stay tuned because in this video, I'm going to offer you 3 tips which will help you to beat lockdown fatigue. If you haven't seen it already, then please do check out my other video where I go into the 5 reasons why you may be suffering from lockdown fatigue. 3. More physical activity. You're probably feeling the effects of a sedentary lifestyle. Sitting around all day, moving from one seat to another is actually leaving you more tired and drained than usual. Now, I promise you, if you do this simple little thing, maybe you're already doing it, but perhaps you can make it something that is a non-negotiable, and that is to go for a walk every single day for at least 20 minutes, ideally an hour. So what you're trying to do is to replace the physical activity or movement which would have been a natural part of your day when life was normal pre-COVID. So you would have been walking from, let's say, the station to work or from home to the station. In my case, I was usually running rather than walking so that I could catch the train on time, but that would take 10 to 15 minutes. So if you count it both ways, that's at least 20 to 30 minutes of physical activity a day without even trying. Walking outside, particularly early on in the day, ideally in the morning, has 2 main benefits. The first is that the sunlight helps to reset your circadian rhythm. The circadian rhythm is what regulates your sleeping and waking pattern, and therefore, if you can regulate that properly, you're going to get much better quality sleep. Now, the bright sunlight that you get early on in the morning is the best light for resetting your circadian rhythm. The second benefit is that with exposure to sunlight, you get vitamin D, which helps to protect you against diseases, including potentially coronavirus, yay! And also helps to beat fatigue and tiredness and depression. Also, when you are home, just try to incorporate more physical movement and activity into your day. So for example, if you need to make work calls and they are not Zoom video calls, you can just walk around in your flat or in your house or whatever and incorporate some physical movement and activity in that way. That will make your calls a lot less boring, and at the same time you are fitting in some gentle exercise as well. Some other quirky, slightly crazy ideas include perhaps balancing on one leg when you're brushing your teeth, or maybe when you're making your tea. So anyways, just be really creative with this, have some fun, and just think about ways in which you can incorporate some movement or physical activity into your day. For me, I actually use a lot of energy making videos. I'm moving around, lots of physical movement incorporated into just making this video. So yeah. If you're finding this video helpful, why not give it a thumbs up and also subscribe if you haven't done so already. It will help me a lot. Tip 2 is to connect. In my other video about lockdown fatigue, I highlighted that loneliness is having a significant detrimental impact on most, if not all of us. If you're feeling lonely, disconnected, isolated, then please don't sit there and just wallow. If you're waiting for somebody else to contact you or to initiate contact, then you may be sitting there waiting for a really long time and feeling bad about it. If you want to have those connections, then initiate it, reach out and connect to people. If you want to have good friends, then be a good friend. If you want to be loved, then be loving. Initiate that contact, because chances are that if you're feeling like that, then i.e. lonely, disconnected, etc., then there's a lot of people that you know or don't know yet who also feel like that and would really appreciate the approach or the initiation of contact from you. I appreciate that with lockdown, seeing people in person can be very difficult depending on the current restrictions that are going on. but we always have ways to connect online, luckily. And whilst it's not, of course, the same as connecting in person, it can also be very, very powerful. So for example, I've received lots of lovely comments, messages, DMs, emails, etc. I've been able to have some really great and meaningful sort of micro connections with people from all walks of life and across the world, and it's been a really fantastic experience. So if you can open yourself up in the same way, start commenting on people's videos, start reaching out to people who you think may have similar interest, or fellow INFJs and so on. And I think you'll find that those people you reach out to, generally speaking, really appreciate it when you do. It won't be reciprocated in every single instance, but in the instances that it is reciprocated, you may be able to forge a really deep and meaningful connection. And finally, we come to the first tip, which is to do with JOLA. Now, you may have heard of FOMO, which is fear of missing out, but you may not have heard of JOLA. So JOLA is the joy of looking ahead. And this, I think, has been coined recently in relation to how optimistic people are feeling after the lockdown easing has been announced in the UK. Here is where having some nice plans to look forward to for when lockdown eases is a really helpful thing. So even just planning a holiday, or some people are really excited about being able to go to a theme park again. It doesn't really matter whether you get to do those activities or not, because just the general anticipation, imagining and thinking about those nice activities and adventures is enough to make you feel optimistic and hopeful, which is very helpful in combating lockdown fatigue. Linked to this concept of JOLA, or the joy of looking ahead, is to have some kind of mini passion project or hobby that gives you a sense of joy when you're taking part in it, and that gives you something to look forward to every day. So in my case, it was posting TikTok videos most days or every single day last summer, and that really just gave me such a sense of joy to read your comments, to see that my audience was growing, and to see the positive impact that I was having on you guys. Now, another example is that also last summer, I started kind of like a vegetable, fruit, flower garden type thing. And it was, a small project, but I managed to grow around 15 different varieties of vegetables, fruit, and flowers, and just every day looking at what was growing and what was going on. It was such a joy just to see a tomato pop up, or to see a new salad leaf pop up. And I know that sounds like it's a really simple, small thing, but it's often the small things in life that give us so much joy. So if you can find something like that in your life that's going to give you a sense of purpose and a little bit of joy when you're taking part in it and you're looking forward to it, then it's also very, very helpful. Please let me know in the comments below which of these 3 tips did you find the most helpful and you're going to implement in your own life. If you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe, and thank you so much for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!